Why is no one talking about antioxidant therapy for kidney disease? Honestly, it baffles me. Science has been clear for years: when your goal is avoiding dialysis, antioxidants work. And the side effects? None. So why aren't they being prescribed everywhere? Today I want to start with a story that still gives me goosebumps. It's from one of my patients, John Lency. Hi, John. I just learned he's a musician, which somehow makes his story even more beautiful. Of course, I'll never share private details, but I can read the comment he left under one of my videos. Here's what he said. I went to my doctor on December 13, 2024. After 3 months on the CKD program Catherine put me on, my eGFR was 48. After those 3 months, my creatinine dropped back into normal range 126. My iron, cholesterol, sodium, potassium all normal. And my GFR? Up from 48 to 64. This was such a big change for me. What an amazing improvement. John, if you're watching this, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. You've gone from impaired kidney function to normal, with all your labs back in balance. And all in just 3 months. That's like taking an out-of-tune piano and turning it into a grand Steinway overnight. It's not a miracle, it's the reward for your effort, your discipline, your belief. Now, while big changes like this always come from a mix of deep dietary and lifestyle shifts, there's one piece of the puzzle I want to talk about today, a part that doesn't get enough attention: antioxidants. I'm completely convinced that increasing your antioxidant intake can protect and even improve kidney function. In fact, I give every one of my patients a specific list of antioxidants to include daily. And there's one combination, in particular, that consistently helps drop creatinine levels faster than anything else I've seen. That's the number one I'll share with you today, so don't miss it. But here's the thing, when it comes to antioxidants, it's not about how much, it's about how many kinds. The more variety, the better your defense. So, let's start with something unexpected: capers. Have you ever tried them? Those little salty green dots you sometimes see on bagels or in tartar sauce. Believe it or not, they're one of the richest natural sources of antioxidants on the planet. Capers are technically a fruit, and yes, they're usually pickled and very salty. Some are saltier than your ex's texts. So if you want to try them, rinse them well before eating. For centuries, capers have been used in traditional Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine to boost circulation, protect the heart, support the kidneys, and even act as a gentle natural diuretic. And modern research shows why. They're packed with a powerful antioxidant called quercetin. You might recognize quercetin from foods like onions, blueberries, and grapes, but capers put them all to shame. If antioxidants had a pop chart, capers would be Beyoncé. And here's why this matters. CKD patients live with higher levels of oxidative stress, the very process that damages kidney cells in conditions like high blood pressure and diabetes. Quercetin helps block that damage, reducing inflammation and protecting your kidneys at the cellular level. It also supports healthy blood pressure and blood sugar, two of the biggest enemies your kidneys face. So yes, antioxidants can change everything. Alright, let's talk about another food that seriously deserves more love when it comes to antioxidants. Number 6 on our list: sunflower seeds. These little guys are so underrated. Just 1 ounce gives you about 66% of your daily vitamin E needs. And that's a big deal because vitamin E is like the duct tape of antioxidants. It helps patch up damage all over the body. Okay, maybe not everything, but close enough. Vitamin E is incredibly powerful. In fact, It was used in a study on 59 people with diabetic kidney disease stage 3 CKD, and the results were mind-blowing. Vitamin E actually helps slow down, and in some cases, reverse the progression of the disease. But here's the thing: you never want to go overboard with vitamin E supplements. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, which means your body can't just flush out the extra. Take too much, and it can build up in your system, causing problems that no doctor will easily trace. Think of it like too many cooks in the kitchen. Eventually, someone's going to spill the soup. And here's something most people don't know: vitamin E isn't just one single thing. In nature, it comes in several forms: alpha, beta, gamma, and delta tocopherols, all working together in harmony. But most supplements, they usually give you only one kind, synthetic alpha tocopherol. Not ideal. That's why I keep coming back to this point: variety matters. Your body doesn't thrive on megadoses of a single nutrient. It thrives on a wide, colorful spread of antioxidants, each playing its own unique role. Mother Nature is brilliant that way. She doesn't give you 500 milligrams of vitamin C in one fruit or 400 IU of a single form of vitamin E in one meal. She gives you smaller doses of many, many antioxidants, like a perfect tasting platter for your cells. Meanwhile, the supplement industry is like that guy at the buffet who piles his plate with only shrimp. Sure, it looks impressive, but your body's quietly screaming, "Hey, what about the rest?" So, what can we do to naturally boost our antioxidant intake? That brings us to number 5: foods absolutely packed with antioxidants. And listen, this part is huge. You want to load your plate with as many antioxidant-rich foods as you can. Be bold about it. Seriously, jump into antioxidants the way Disney jumps its political messages into their movies. So, what foods are both rich in antioxidants and gentle on your kidneys? Let's go through a few that might surprise you. First up, cocoa powder. Yes, that's right, cocoa. The same ingredient that makes chocolate so irresistible is packed with flavonoids, a group of antioxidants that do wonders for your heart and kidneys. Just make sure you're using pure, unsweetened cocoa, not the sugary stuff. Next, let's talk berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, they're all bursting with anthocyanins, the powerful plant compounds that give them those deep, rich colors. In fact, studies show that people with high cholesterol saw real improvements just by eating more berries. And then there's artichokes, a total powerhouse most people overlook. They're loaded with chlorogenic acid, a potent antioxidant especially effective for blood sugar balance and heart health, two major concerns for anyone protecting their kidneys. Of course, we can't forget the classics. Kale, for instance, is practically a superhero in leafy green form, packed with vitamins A, K, and C, plus antioxidants like quercetin and camphorol. If oxidative stress had a Yelp page, kale would be leaving the most brutal 1-star review. Red cabbage deserves a shout out too. Its gorgeous purple color comes from anthocyanins, the same antioxidants found in berries. And beets, oh, don't skip them. They're rich in betalains, which support healthy blood flow and detox pathways. Speaking of fruit, here's a little secret: most antioxidants are in the skin. That's right. The peels you toss in the trash? That's where the gold is hiding. So whenever possible, don't peel your fruit. Keep those apple skins, leave the cucumber peel on, maybe skip the banana peel, though. Let's not get too wild. Another easy trick? Eat the rainbow. Literally. The more color you add to your plate, reds, blues, oranges, purples, the broader the spectrum of antioxidants you'll get. Every color represents different compounds, each doing its own part to protect your kidneys from oxidative stress. But here's something most people don't realize: there's actually one thing in your diet that can boost your antioxidant levels even more than food, and that's what you drink. Believe it or not, we get more antioxidants from tea and coffee than any other source in a typical diet. And if you had to choose just one superstar beverage, go for green tea. Green tea is loaded with EGCG, one of the most powerful antioxidants known to science. It's not just good for your heart, it's been shown to help protect your kidneys from fibrosis, which is basically scarring. And once kidneys start scarring, that's when the damage becomes permanent. So if there's one thing you can do today to help keep your kidneys safe, it's simple: drink a little green tea every day. It's a small habit, but it can help make that permanent damage a little less permanent. Here's something most people don't realize about green tea: yes, it's packed with antioxidants, but your body doesn't actually absorb them very well. So, how do we fix that? You give your green tea a little upgrade. To turn your regular cup into a true antioxidant powerhouse, all you need to do is add one more ingredient: vitamin C. Let's talk about this one for a second, the superstar of all antioxidants. Vitamin C has earned its reputation for a reason. It supports healthy blood pressure, helps your body detoxify, boosts iron absorption, speeds up wound healing, strengthens your immune system, and honestly, the list could go on forever. But here's the really cool part: vitamin C doesn't just help on its own, it makes other antioxidants work better. When you add a splash of lemon, which is full of vitamin C, to your green tea, it can increase the absorption of green tea's flavonoids by up to 5 times. And it doesn't stop there. Vitamin C also helps your body absorb carotenoids, beta-carotene, lycopene, vitamin E, and more. Remember what I said earlier about variety being the key? This is exactly why. Antioxidants work best together. The whole is always greater than the sum of its parts. So next time you brew your green tea, squeeze in some fresh lemon juice. It's such a small step, but it makes a world of difference. Now, speaking of antioxidants that make a real impact, let's move into the heavy hitters, the ones that can actually shift kidney health in a measurable way. Because the next few nutrients I'm about to share aren't just good to have. They're essential if you're serious about protecting your kidneys and improving function. Number 3 is zinc. Zinc is one of those quiet heroes your body can't make on its own but absolutely needs. It plays a role in hundreds of processes: immunity, tissue repair, wound healing, blood sugar regulation, even your sense of taste. But here's what makes zinc especially exciting for kidney patients: it's been directly linked to slowing the progression of CKD. Yes, you heard that right. Few minerals can make that kind of difference, but zinc is one of them. So how do you get more zinc naturally? Start with seeds, especially hemp seeds, which are absolute powerhouses. Cashews are another great source. And believe it or not, you can even get a solid zinc boost from something as simple as oatmeal. That said, animal-based foods like eggs or lean meats tend to contain zinc in a more easily absorbed form. So, if you're mostly plant-based, a zinc supplement might be worth considering. Just remember one important detail: zinc and copper go hand in hand. Too much zinc can lower your copper levels, and that's something you don't want. Copper deficiency can lead to anemia, and unless you're trying to audition for a role as a Victorian orphan, let's keep that in check. A good rule of thumb? For every 10 to 15 milligrams of zinc, make sure you're also getting around 2 milligrams of copper. That keeps your body balanced and your kidneys protected. Alright, let's move on to number 2 on our list today: selenium. Selenium doesn't get nearly enough attention, but it absolutely deserves it, especially when we're talking about kidney health. In medical studies, selenium supplementation has actually been shown to improve renal function. And when something as safe and simple as selenium can do that, it's definitely worth considering as part of your daily routine. Selenium is both an essential mineral and a powerful antioxidant, and its benefits stretch far beyond the kidneys. One large meta-analysis found that supplementing with enough selenium reduced the risk of coronary heart disease by 24%. That's a huge deal because, as anyone with CKD knows, the heart and kidneys are deeply connected. CKD raises your risk for all those scary acronyms: CAD, CVD, PAD, CHF, and trust me, you really don't want to start collecting those like alphabet soup. But here's something most people don't know: selenium is also vital for your thyroid. In fact, your thyroid holds more selenium per gram than any other organ in your body. And that's important, because CKD itself puts you at higher risk for thyroid issues. Keeping your selenium levels steady can help protect that delicate balance. Even more interesting, a deficiency in selenium can actually damage your kidneys over time. Correcting that deficiency, on the other hand, has been shown to support real improvements in kidney health. In one placebo-controlled study, participants who took selenium together with the antioxidant we're about to talk about next saw something truly remarkable: a 14-point increase in GFR. 14 points. That's like going from a D+ to a solid B on your kidney report card. Honestly, I'd throw a party for that kind of progress. And that brings us to number 1, the antioxidant I consider the single most effective for protecting your kidneys. It's one I recommend to every single patient I work with, because the results have been consistently impressive. You guessed it, CoQ10. CoQ10 is a powerhouse when it comes to energy production and cellular protection. But what makes it even more effective is pairing it with, you guessed it again, selenium. These two nutrients work in beautiful synergy. Selenium helps your body recycle CoQ10 so it stays active longer, while CoQ10 boosts selenium's protective effects. Together, they form a sort of antioxidant dream team. Now, supplement brands haven't really caught on to this combo yet, so you'll probably need to take them separately. The simplest way? Take your CoQ10 supplement with a snack that includes a Brazil nut, they're nature's richest source of selenium. Aim for around 100 micrograms of selenium per day, about 1 Brazil nut, and 100 to 200 milligrams of CoQ10 daily. Small steps like this can make a profound difference over time. Today, I'm diving into your questions again. I always love this part because your questions aren't just smart, they're full of heart. So, let's not waste a second. Let's get right into it. First question comes from Natalie, who writes, "My mom's been keeping her GFR stable at 25 for almost 20 years. I think it's thanks to her vegan diet, her family doctor, and her daily vitamin D. Should I also give her sodium bicarbonate?" Natalie, first of all, wow. A stable GFR at 25 for 2 decades? That's incredible. You're right, that's a miracle in kidney terms. So here's my advice: don't change a thing unless her doctor specifically tells you to. I mean it. Whoever's managing her case clearly knows what they're doing. My guess is she's seeing a really sharp nephrologist. Please confirm that for me. I'm genuinely curious. About the sodium bicarbonate, please don't experiment with it. Just make sure her serum bicarbonate is within range. If it weren't, her kidney function wouldn't have stayed this steady for so long. So, she's clearly doing something right. Keep it exactly as is. Now, let's move on to another great question. This one's from Sarah KK2AG, who asks, what is the right dosage for vitamin D and vitamin K? When should I take them? I love this one because it's such a common question. Let's start with vitamin K, the regular one. The dosage? 0 milligrams a day. That's right, none. Nada. Zip. If you need a way to remember that number, just think of it as the same amount of attention most health insurance providers give to your well-being, 0. Now, what you probably meant is vitamin K2, and that's a different story. The sweet spot for K2 is 100 micrograms, taken in the morning with some fats. Why fats? Because fat-soluble vitamins like K2, D, and E love fats. They cling to them the way insurance companies cling to your premiums. They're inseparable. Alright, now let's talk about vitamin D. Here's where things get a little more personal. A good maintenance dose for most people is 1000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, again in the morning, with fats. But here's the thing, that dose only works if your vitamin D levels are already decent. And for a lot of people, especially those with CKD, they're not. If your levels are low, and trust me, this is very common, you may need more. In those cases, your doctor might recommend something like 50,000 IU weekly or 6,000 IU daily for 8 to 12 weeks. But please, and I can't stress this enough, never take those higher doses without your doctor's supervision. If you have CKD, you should be checking your serum vitamin D at least once a year. Let your doctor guide the dosage and type of vitamin D3 that's best for you. Alright, next up, a really good question about acid balance in the blood. This one comes from AI Sahib 3768, who asks, is there anything besides sodium bicarbonate to raise pH? Is water sold at 9.5 pH genuine, and how much should I use? Great question, and I'm so glad you asked this, because acid-alkaline balance is something every kidney patient should understand. So, what can you do besides sodium bicarbonate to support a healthier pH and avoid metabolic acidosis? First, let's talk about diet, because this is where real change happens. Every single thing you eat can either be acid-forming or alkaline-forming. Foods like meat, fish, and dairy, they're acid-forming. And when your kidneys are struggling, too much of those can add to the acid load. But vegetables, especially green leafy ones, are your best friends here. They're powerfully alkaline-forming and help your body naturally balance pH levels. So yes, a low-protein, plant-based diet really does make a difference. But I'll be honest, sometimes, even that isn't enough. In those cases, your doctor might recommend sodium bicarbonate. Now, what about all that fancy 9.5 pH water, smart water, alkaline water, all those bottles that promise to fix your pH? Let's just say this. The only thing smart about smart water is the marketing team cashing in on the idea. Seriously. 9.5 pH water doesn't really help your blood pH in any meaningful way. So please, save your money. If you really want to invest in your health, use that money for lab tests to check your CO2 levels or serum bicarbonate. Those numbers actually tell you how your body's managing acidity. Now, another question about sodium bicarbonate, from Yami Alyabin 854, who asks, can someone with heart disease still take sodium bicarbonate supplements? Someone I know tried it, and his heart started palpitating. We were scared he'd have a heart attack. Oh wow, that must have been terrifying. I'm really glad you're asking this. Heart palpitations from sodium bicarbonate aren't common, but they can happen, especially in people with heart issues or electrolyte imbalances. And here's the truth, sodium bicarbonate is not something to take without medical supervision. Think of it like a toddler with a Sharpie. It needs a grown-up watching carefully. Not everyone needs it, and the dose absolutely has to be calculated by a doctor while monitoring your serum bicarbonate levels regularly. Now, if your friend's heart started racing, my best guess is that they took too much what I'd call a megadose. For reference, a typical dose is just one 650 mg tablet, taken 3 times a day. That's about 1/8 of a level teaspoon tiny, right? To cause heart palpitations, you'd probably need a much larger amount combined with sensitivity to sodium, heart disease, or electrolyte imbalance. So yes, sodium bicarbonate has its risks, but it's not inherently dangerous. It's not adrenaline, it's just something that needs respect and balance. In this case, I'd say it was more like the straw that broke the camel's back, not the whole load itself. Alright, next up, a really good question about the renal diet. Raphael P. Noah asks, are there times when I can step out of my healthy diet? And if so, how often? Once a year, once a month, or every 6 months? Ah, the timeless question, can I cheat on my diet? Raphael, I love your honesty. Let's talk about it. Every Christmas, CKD patients around the world collectively eat enough salty food to dehydrate half the planet, and don't even get me started on sugar. By the end of December, there's probably enough frosting in circulation to ice over the entire moon. So, can you take a break from your healthy diet? Well, yes, technically you can. But every cheat pushes your kidneys to work a little harder, and that's never something to take lightly. Think of it like this, asking how often you can cheat on your renal diet is kind of like asking your mechanic, how far can I drive my car without oil? The answer is not very far before you start seeing smoke. Now, I'm not saying you can't enjoy yourself during the holidays. I completely get it, staying disciplined while everyone else is feasting is tough. So here's my advice, if you do decide to have a small treat, make it just that, small. Don't go for the whole moon. Next question, from Monica Pulu 2352, if sodium levels in the blood sometimes drop, is that dangerous? Should I eat more salt? That's an excellent question, Monica. Let's say you get your lab results back and your sodium looks a bit low. Does that mean you need more salt? No. Please don't run to the kitchen and start drowning fries in soy sauce. That's not the solution. Here's what's really happening. In advanced CKD, low sodium in your blood often means your body is holding on to too much fluid. In other words, your kidneys aren't getting rid of enough water, and that extra fluid dilutes your sodium levels. So, when sodium drops, it's rarely about not eating enough salt. It's about your body retaining too much water. And adding even more sodium just worsens that problem, raising your blood pressure and swelling. If your labs show low sodium or chloride, talk to your doctor. They may adjust your fluid intake or add a gentle diuretic to help rebalance things. Remember, the goal isn't to drown your food in salt, it's to help your kidneys keep balance. Now, a tea question. Bill Morris 7645 asks, can we combine hibiscus and chamomile? Yes, absolutely, and what a beautiful combo that is. Hibiscus and chamomile actually protect your kidneys in different ways. Hibiscus works like a gentle diuretic. It helps your body flush out excess fluid and can support healthy blood pressure. Chamomile, on the other hand, is calming. It helps you relax, lowers stress hormones, and promotes better sleep. And you might not realize it, but stress relief is huge for kidney protection. When your body is calm, your blood pressure improves, your inflammation drops, and your kidneys get a much-needed break. So yes, hibiscus and chamomile together? That's a lovely duo. Now, onto my least favorite topic, censorship. Leeli asks, in your video about Luigi Mangione and the healthcare scandal, who's censoring the word assassinate, you, or YouTube? Ha! Thank you, Leeli. Great question. And don't worry, no one in this audience is what I'd call emotionally fragile. If you're living with CKD and still here laughing at my bad jokes about fluid retention, you're tougher than a protein bar from the back of a dialysis vending machine. Now, the truth is, I censor certain words myself not because I'm afraid to say them, but because YouTube's bots love to flag and hide videos that use specific keywords. And yes, it's happened to me more than once. So, to keep my videos alive and visible, I have to play it smart. It's not about being delicate, it's about staying one step ahead of the algorithm. And if you think YouTube's excited about anyone discussing Luigi or certain sensitive topics, think again. Some content has even disappeared right before my eyes. That's why I always say, censorship isn't just annoying, it's literally invisible. And for anyone who remembers when 1984 was just a book, well, here we are. If you have more questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll answer as many as I can in my next Q&A. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care of your kidneys, stay strong, and God bless you.